Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over how I train and how I recommend you train to get the splits. A lot of people want to get the splits. It's kind of like a backflip. We want to do backflips, we want to do front flips. If anything, it's the least popular one of those two, but I think that is the most useful out of those two. I feel like it's more useful for you to do splits than to do backflips, even though they might look a little bit more aesthetically appealing. The splits help with more functional movements that you use in actual workout routines and in sports in general. It's good to have flexible hamstrings and was it hamstrings and groin muscles around the groin. You want them to be flexible since that's typically where we get a lot of injuries. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys. So first things first, when we're organizing our workout routine, we always need a structured plan. Write down our goals. I've always said write it down in your notebook. Write down where we're starting at, what's your starting point, how many seconds are we spending in each stretch. Typically, when I'm doing stretching for the splits, I always recommend that we start off at least 30 seconds per set and slowly work up. We can get up to 5 minutes per rep or whatever set of splits. So what I do, I'm in my sets because you can't really do reps of splits. I just do like holding. So I count the amount of time that I'm holding it for, and I do it about 3 times, 5 minutes each time, more or less. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less. But I always average around 5 minutes. So I can do maybe 6 minutes one, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes. Or I could do... That was wrong. That math was bad. I could do 6 minutes, then I could do 4 minutes, then I could do 5 minutes. That sounds better. Something like that, where I organize it in a way where I'm going. I go hard, and then I rest a little bit, and then I go in the middle at the last one. You can do whatever way you want. Just have a total volume goal. Let's say your total volume goal is about 2 minutes of the stretch. You'd split it across 3 to 4 sets or holding segments, and this will lead to the most success in the stretching, or it really works in whatever workout if you do it like that in sets and reps for muscle. Because when we're stretching, what we're really doing is that we're growing the muscle along the vertical axis. So imagine when we're curling or when we're lifting weight, we're training for thickness, but when we're training through stretching, we're training length. So the more length of the muscle we build, the farther we stretch. And it makes sense if you really think about it, because it doesn't make sense that some people can... Alright guys, I had a quick cut there, had housekeeping coming in. But like I was saying, when we're doing stretching, we need to have a solid routine. Typically, I'd recommend we write it down, organize it in our notebook or goal notebook. We want to have a set goal for, let's say, a month. By the end of the month, maybe you start off at the beginning of the month with, like I said, 2 minutes volume for your first week, and then you want to end the month with 3 minutes of volume. So these goals really help pace yourself for success when you're training for the splits. Seconds under tension, you want to push yourself, but not push yourself so hard where you pull your hamstrings or your groin muscles, but you still want to push yourself a pretty good bit. Training will also increase the strength of your muscles. People don't really know this, but people who are more flexible and who stretch are typically stronger overall when they're squatting or doing these form movement, since it helps improve the stability of the movement and reduce any issues that you have with the form. It really improves your form in general with all sorts of workouts. So when we're done organizing the routine, we have our goals set up. We begin doing our stretching, go through the processes. There's other workouts and stretches that we can add on top of doing regular split holds, such as this one that I like to do, where I sit on the floor and go push my upper body as low as I can down and try to reach past my legs. If I cut on my camera, I'd show this. But pretty much what it does, it's like, imagine a sit and reach, but you're pushing your torso down closer to the floor, trying to get your head to touch the floor while keeping your legs as straight as possible. This will also train your hamstrings, which will then translate to helping with the splits without putting as much pressure on your groin. So this will help with the same sort of training with decreased fatigue, and you can add it on to your regular stretching if you feel like it's a little bit easier. Although this is not a substitute for holding the stretching position, holding the split position. Holding this different type of stretch is just a supplement to your training. When we're training splits, and in general also when we're training muscle, regular training, I recommend collagen supplements because this really helps with the ligaments on our elbow joints, helps with recovery. Collagen, people neglect this supplement. It's like protein for your ligaments, and stretching really involves ligament development. So it's very, very important, especially since ligaments take longer to develop when compared to muscles. So collagen is a very important supplement in this type of training. When I started my training for splits, it was about a little bit less than a year ago, and I still can't do them. I have very, very close. I can almost do them. And if you look at me from a distance, it looks like I'm doing them, but I'm still not technically there. By next year, I'll definitely be way past the splits, or I'll at least be able to do the splits. I've seen people who can do them in a month, and I've seen people who are like me, and it takes a year for them to do them. They train them every day. So just stay consistent. It's not about how fast you can do them or how long it takes for you to do them. It's just that you'll be able to do them. Same thing with my handstand push-ups. I've been doing training for them for like 2 years. I can still barely do them. And it took like a year and a half to do one. So it's all about consistency and trusting the process. You're not going to be able to get progress like this. It's not training doesn't just happen like that. You need to stay very consistent with all forms of training, not just stretching, with muscular training, with life in general. Consistency is key. Consistency pretty much always beats intensity. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Be careful. Don't hurt yourselves when you're doing this training. Splits aren't easy. Don't forget it takes time. Don't rush yourself. Trust the process and things will work out. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.